Good evening, everyone, and thank you so much for joining us once again. I have a power packed session brought to you all the way from California, and I hope all of you are California dreaming today in India. Very quickly in the chat window, if you could let me know which city are you dialing in from, this will serve as an audio check, a video check on my behalf that you can hear me and see me. So, very quickly in the chat window, which city are you dialing in from? I see we are close to 70, 80 students who have already joined this call. So before I get started, like I said, a very, very interesting topic today, masterclass today brought to you by Santa Clara University School of Engineering, located in the heart of Silicon Valley. So for all of you who are joining in the chat window, if you could let us know which city you're dialing in from, that would be very helpful. I am from Mumbai, and I have a lot of folks here with me from various parts in the United States, and we want to know where y'all are coming from. So I see there are more than 100 of you already. I have enabled the chat option. So very quickly, which city are you dialing in from? So there's someone who's come in from Patiala, anyone else from anywhere in India. Very quickly, let us know which city you are coming in from. We really want to know where our audience is coming in from tonight. Someone's from Mumbai. Uh, Great. Professor Kai has sent out his greetings as well. So, like I said, we have a very, very interesting masterclass today brought to you by Santa Clara University School of Engineering, located in Silicon Valley, offering undergraduate, master's, and doctoral program. The school puts a lot of emphasis on innovation, sustainability, and global impact. We are going to hear a lot more about the school and its offerings from Stacy later, and at the same time get a chance to understand augmented reality for cultural heritage, the Ohlone AR Tour at Santa Clara University by Professor Kai. And then, of course, you will also get a chance to be a part of some interesting discussions with fellow Indian students who are now alums of this university who had also gone and studied abroad. So you will get a lot to hear from them. Speaking a little bit about expectations, so yes, we will be starting with a presentation to know more about the AR app uses Unity graphics engine, the GPS, the computer vision tracking, all of that from Dr. Lukoff, followed by which, like I said, the alumni from Santa Clara University will be sharing their experiences and some insights into the US job market, and of course, the benefits of studying in the heart of California. Before I move forward, I am going to quickly just do a quick introduction to all of us who are on the panel today. Like I said, I have a power-packed panel with me today. So my name is Sabahat Kurzuk. I am an associate director with Seed Global Education. We're a UK headquartered company facilitating interactions between top global universities like the one that we have with us here today and prospective students like yourself, giving you a chance to connect with the faculty, admissions, and alumni from these universities, and of course, make informed choices about your higher education and career plans. Joining me on the panel today is Professor Kai, who is an assistant professor in the Department of Computer Science and Engineering at Santa Clara University. He leads the Human Computer Interaction Lab, focusing on technologies with social impact. His recent work focuses on co-design methods for location-based augmented reality. Thank you so much, Professor, for making time for us and being here for the session today. Along with Professor Kai, we have Stacy Tinker, who is the Assistant Dean of Enrollment Management and Student Affairs at Santa Clara University, a role that she has had since August 2021. With over 3 years in this position, Stacy brings a wealth of experience in fostering student success and overseeing enrollment strategies at SCU's graduate engineering program. So for all of you who are looking to get an admission or have any questions or queries, Stacy is your go-to person. You can reach out to her and she will be more than happy to help you. And of course, we do have some students who have joined us today as well. We have Padma, who is a software engineer at Microsoft based in, well, I currently just checked with her. She is no longer in Washington, but has just moved. With a master's degree in computer science from SCU, Padma has a strong foundation in software development and engineering. Prior to joining Microsoft, she gained valuable experience working with global tech leaders like SAP and Accenture. Thank you so much, Padma, for joining us. And I believe she also served as a graduate teaching assistant during her time at Santa Clara University. We also have Nolita. Nolita architects and develops end-to-end solutions, collaborating with cross-functional teams to steer projects from design and development through to final delivery, ensuring a seamless alignment of technology and organizational skill. She has authored a technical paper on mental health prediction, analysis, and solutions live via social media data. Her credentials include certifications from AWS, OCI, Microsoft, Meta, and Google Cloud. Thank you so much, Nalita, for joining us as well. And last but definitely not the least, we have uh, Paninder, who is a seasoned software developer with a strong education background and extensive professional experience. He began his journey in the field of computer science with a BTech in computer science from VTU, Bangalore, India, and is currently pursuing his MS at Santa Clara University. So thank you to all of you who have been kind enough to join us here on today's masterclass. I know there is a lot that is going to be going on. So without taking further time, I'm going to quickly start by launching my first poll question for the evening on the screen in front of you. To all 230 of you in the audience, would you like to see more app development that integrates technology with history, thereby giving you a chance to know what has happened in the past, know a little bit more about your heritage, your structure? We are going to be talking a little bit about that today. So would you in the audience be the kind of people who would like to see more of app development where it sort of integrates technology with history, giving you a chance to go through those experiences that people have in the past? I'm going to keep the poll open for a few more minutes before, few more seconds before I end it, and share the results with everyone on the screen in front of you. Okay, thank you so much. So around 88% in the audience today are very keen to see the progress of such apps with technology and history. With that, Professor Kai, I now hand over the floor to you to begin with your presentation.
Thank you so much for that introduction and lead into my talk, Sabahat. So I'm coming to you from Santa Clara, California, the heart of the Silicon Valley here. I wish I could be with many of you who are in India. I did get to visit India once on a company trip and got to see Delhi, Bangalore, and Coimbatore. So would love to return at some point, but it's also a nice place to be here. So with that, I want to talk today about augmented reality for cultural heritage, which is a near and dear topic to my heart and the focus of a lot of my research. Can you, let's see, okay, this is not the right screen. Let me rearrange my screens quickly. Okay, can you see the presentation now?
Not yet, Professor.
Okay, let me then pull up the right one here. Let me try again. How about now?
Yes, that works, Professor. Thank you so much.
Great. Okay, so I'll talk about augmented reality for cultural heritage and the Ohlone Augmented Reality Tour at Santa Clara University. But first, a little introduction to myself. I'm Professor Kai. My undergrad was at Stanford University, and then I did my PhD at the University of Washington in Seattle. Some of my hobbies are cycling and hunting for wild mushrooms. My research area is in human-computer interaction, which means that I research, design, and develop technologies with a social impact. So that's an interdisciplinary field that is at the intersection of computer science and engineering, as well as design and the arts and some of the social sciences like psychology, so that we can better understand how we can develop technologies that are useful to people. A typical research process in the field of human-computer interaction will go from understanding to design to building to evaluating the system that we've built in user testing, according to different user experience metrics like satisfaction, how in control do users feel, what have they learned from the experience, Those are all, how easy is it to use? Those are all the kinds of experience metrics that we might evaluate in our research when we build computing systems. Now, of course, I've presented this in a very linear fashion where we go from understanding to designing to building and evaluating, when in reality, this process is sometimes quite messy. Often in technology, you build something and then discover, hey, wait a minute, that isn't actually what the users want. So that's often why we do a lot of low fidelity prototyping to begin with and try out many different designs so that we can focus in on the one that's actually most useful to people. So let me present then the focus of my talk today on the Ohlone Augmented Reality Tour, currently in app stores as of last month. And this is an augmented reality app that will allow you to explore the university campus and reveal some hidden history. So let me introduce a little bit about the history of our beautiful campus. But the campus here is the oldest institution of higher education in the state of California. And we have, as a Jesuit university, many Christian and Catholic symbols on our university campus here, including, of course, the beautiful Mission Church at the heart of our campus. But there's another history of our campus, that of the Native Americans who have lived here for thousands of years, that is largely hidden from view. And so the question that we asked ourselves is, how can we leverage augmented reality to reveal this hidden history? And on the right, you have one of the up-and-coming devices, the Meta Orion AR glasses, which you may have heard of, which allow you to see augmented reality or digital images overlaid on top of what you're actually seeing in the world. For now, though, those glasses are something that will probably be more widely available in a few years from now. And so we're working with augmented reality on smartphones, which most people have. So that would be, if you think of this as a continuum of virtuality, we're on the far left of this screen here, doing video see-through. So you hold up your phone, and then on top of your phone's camera looks at the world, and on top of that, we overlay different images of what could be or what you might see or reveal. This, of course, contrasts with other forms of virtual reality, like optical see-through, such as the Microsoft HoloLens, having it on your display, a head-mounted display like the Meta Quest or the Apple Vision Pro, or even like a cave environment where it's a whole room that's been set up for virtual reality. And so with that, I want to introduce our actual experience and show what it looks like. So let me play this, and I will narrate as you see the images here. So for thousands of years here, Santa Clara University has had a population of Native Americans, yet this history is largely unrecognized on our campus. And we're asking, how can we reveal this through augmented reality? And so we've created the Thámien Ohlone Augmented Reality Tour. Here's some news coverage that we got for the launch of our tour about a year ago. And you can see some of our Native American partners using the tour on our campus that we built. That's the heart of our beautiful campus here. And the experience then is like this, where you pull up on your phone the experience by scanning a QR code. And then as you look around, you can see different digital objects superimposed on top of it. So we use Unity to develop the experience, which is a common game engine, of course, but can also be used for augmented reality. And for each of the stops, it's located at a specific site on our campus, such as the fountain here. And this was actually the historical site of the Thámien Ohlone village. And so here then we can show what the village actually would have looked like, a couple hundred years ago. And this village, according to the archaeological evidence, we actually have an archaeologist on our team, another faculty member, has been in that location for a long time. Here's the Mission Church, and we're in the sky showing the names of thousands of Native people who actually lived and died and helped construct the Mission Church there. And each of these stops is actually narrated by one of our Native American partners. So this experience is very much co-designed or created together with them. Then we have the Mission Cemetery stop, where these shells on the ground are abalone, a special type of clam or mussel that we have in our region that's very sacred to the Native American people and would have been used in burials. So when we describe all the people who are buried at this particular location, we honor them with those abalone shells in accordance with the tribe's wishes. And then finally, we're also recognizing our campus as a hub of cultural activity. So every year we have what's called a powwow on our campus, where Native American groups get together and dance and sing and celebrate here. And so you can see that we've now superimposed, 2D images, as well as earlier you saw 3D images that we've modeled in Blender. And those can be specifically located to a very precise degree on particular locations on our campus. So this tour then is co-designed together with the tribe. You can see our process of co-design here. You'll see me in some of the photos, as well as some of our other faculty and our Native American partners. All of the content in the tour is co-designed together with the tribe. And so we really want to recognize sort of their existence here. And that's one of our Native American students. So I hope that that gives you a good overview of what we've done with the tour. I'm going to talk a little bit about the software architecture here so that you have a better idea of like behind the scenes exactly what is happening here. Can you still see my screen, or did that disappear here?
It's there.
We can see it, yes.
Great. Okay, so this is the software architecture. And you can see here that you can scan the QR code, whether you're a tribal member, a student, or a tourist coming to our site. We get a lot of tourists visiting our beautiful campus. That then allows you to access the iPhone or the Android app, which is developed in Unity. Then, as you may have seen, you need to scan a specific location using your phone's camera. And what we're doing then is we've actually created a mesh of the entire world, or our campus rather, not the entire world. And the camera's view has to be matched against the view or the mesh that we have for that particular location, so that we can precisely identify where you are and make sure that the digital objects, such as the 3D models of the Thule houses or images, are precisely located to within actually, a few centimeters of the actual location that we want those objects to appear. And we use SLAM localization, so a computer vision technique where it simultaneously has to detect where you are in space based on your camera view and match that against this mesh of the world that we've done by scanning a lot of sites on our campus using phone camera views and also LiDAR, so bouncing light off of different objects and detecting sort of the shape or the 3D-ness of our campus. That then allows us to display about 5 different tour stops that we currently have, and we're hoping to develop about 15 more with all kinds of digital media content, including some of our 3D models that we also do in Blender, and we have students working on that as well in our research lab. So in conclusion here, this augmented reality can really help reveal hidden history on our campus, as well as all kinds of other sites around the world. You might think about where you're from. Are there hidden histories that might be revealed using augmented reality to make, for example, museum experiences or cultural heritage sites more engaging? This is the kind of research that we're doing here to enable these kinds of more engaging interactions all around the world. And currently, of course, it's on smartphones, but within a few years, I would expect that many of us will have, some form of augmented reality glasses that allow us to see it more directly on glasses. And so that's the next version of this tour that we're currently working on. We have 4 stops finished around our campus, 16 more to go. And I'm excited to share that we also won the grand prize from Niantic, a company you may have heard of. They're the makers of the popular Pokemon Go augmented reality game, and they really recognized our work and awarded us a prize over the summer this year. I also want to just highlight that the best part of this work is working together with Native American partners and students. So here's a photo of us at our most recent co-design workshop with our Native American partners, together with myself, faculty, and students at Santa Clara University. Our lab also presents this work at industry conferences, such as the AWE USA conference, which is held in Santa Clara and sometimes Southern California. And I love taking a large group of students there so that they can learn more about the industry and also build connections for internships and jobs. We also do a lot of social activities. So here's a team lunch that we had on our campus. And I love to get to know the students in my research lab personally. So with that, why augmented reality? Well, it can reveal hidden history, envision a more just future, and also there's rapid improvement in the AR technology that we're exploring from a research perspective. So I hope that gives you an overview of the work that we do in augmented reality in my research lab in human-computer interaction, and why you might want to join us here at Santa Clara University. I hope you consider. With that, I'll stop sharing my screen, and if there's any questions, I'd be glad to answer them.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Dr. Kai. That was very, very insightful and really helpful. Gave me a better idea of what all happened back in the day at your campus, that this is such a milestone, I must say. And congratulations on all the great work. And I can see that you're continuing to develop and take it further, which should be really exciting in the coming few months or years. Great. I do have a question for you in the audience from Francis, who says, can you let us know a bit more as to how mixed reality is used in solving real world problems like climate change, sustainable living? And can you throw some information on how research institutes like Santa Clara are partnering with the private sector in this direction?
That's a great question. So mixed reality would be a little further along that virtual reality continuum that I described. So I think that means bringing more of the virtual into the physical world. So for instance, one of the stops that we're considering is more of a virtual game that you could see overlaid on reality. So there's a bunch of traditional Native American games that you play with different wood sticks. And we might, in future stops, allow the user to actually interact with that overlaid on top of what they're seeing in physical reality. So that would be towards mixed reality. Oftentimes that's also done on, of course, AR glasses or headsets. And so that's a direction that we're going. I think there's been a lot of work, to the second part of the question, about how this can be used for public benefit to, say, for example, show what your neighborhood would look like after climate change. If you're living in, say, Florida or other parts of the world that are subject to, rising oceans, what is your coastline going to look like when, the ocean rises by a couple of feet? Will these buildings be underwater? And so you can actually show that using augmented reality devices or headsets. So that's just, one example of the effects of, say, global warming that you might be able to make more real through the use of augmented or like mixed reality. And finally, to industry engagement, this is a project where there's actually a lot of industry engagement. We have visited the Niantic. So Niantic is a company that spun out of Google, and they, of course, made the very popular Pokemon Go game, and they build a lot of the underlying technology and infrastructure that we build on for this augmented reality tour. And so we have a close relationship with them. They gave us, of course, that grand prize, and we visited their offices a number of times. And whenever we go to like the AWE USA conference, we always meet with them as well as other partners. I really love, because of our location in the heart of the Silicon Valley, being able to bring lots of different industry people to campus or visit their offices. And I think that's also one of the great advantages of our location that I would urge students who are coming here to take advantage of, because it really is, there's no better way to build connections and eventually enter the industry, if that's something you're interested in, than by meeting people in person, visiting these companies in person. And that's an opportunity that we often have here at Santa Clara University.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Dr. Kai, for that answer. I'm going to take one last question before I let you go, which is from Yashwant, who's saying, what were the most significant challenges you faced in optimizing the AR content for real world usability? And how did you sort of overcome them?
That's a great question. We did a lot of work to get the localization right. So we had to experiment with many, many different ways of scanning the different sites on our campus using different devices, and at different times of day. We found that you often needed different scans or many different scans to get the localization to perform at a high level. So we needed to scan, say, in the morning when the light was really bright, and sometimes in the evening when it was a little bit darker, so that the model would be able to integrate these different sources and create a mesh that was robust, so that when it was compared against the camera view, it would be able to accurately determine the user's location, rather than have the location appear somewhere outside of the field of view or somewhere where it wasn't supposed to be. So that localization process is something that we've spent a lot of time and effort to get right. We also initially created a web augmented reality experience, but eventually found that that was not reliable enough, because there's so much sort of that happens in the browser that we don't have control over. So developing a native app, which we actually worked on over the summer in Unity, was really essential to making the experience more reliable.
Right. Thank you. Thank you so much, Professor Kai. Thank you so much for your time and for the wonderful presentation and for answering our questions. That was really, really helpful. Once again, thank you. With that, now I would like to hand over to Stacy to talk a little bit more about the programs and offerings at Santa Clara University, and see a few questions relating that as well. But I'll hand it over to you, Stacy.
Thank you so much. That was quick. Okay, let's see here. Let me just move this to the side. All right. Thank you so much, Professor Lukoff. That was absolutely amazing. You showed wonderful pictures of the university, and again, just a little bit about myself. My name is Stacy Tinker. I'm the Assistant Dean of Enrollment Management and Student Affairs. I've been at the university now for 23 years. I've been with the School of Engineering for 17, and it's been a wonderful journey with my career here. So I have a lot of information, but very, it's an awesome place to be. So I'm just gonna go ahead and again, this is just a little like a map of the Bay Area of Silicon Valley and where exactly Santa Clara sits in the heart of the valley, the tech world. And these are some of the companies that surrounds us. There's a lot more, but it would just probably take up the map here. So we just wanted to give you a little taste of exactly where we are in Santa Clara, California. Just to show you some of the programs offering, we have currently 10 master's degrees, and they're listed here. And I encourage you to take a screenshot of these slides that I'll be going over, which you can refer back to later. We also have 4 PhD programs: bioengineering, computer science and engineering, electrical and computer engineering, and mechanical engineering. So these are our offering for our students that are from abroad that you would be eligible to enroll in. Now, our admission requirements for the master's program, it's a $95 online application fee. We require that all bachelor official transcripts be evaluated by an international transcript evaluation service. It's either WES, ECE, or SPAN-TRAN. This requirement is you must submit your international transcript to one of these three agencies. We do require the English efficiency exam, so we will accept the TOEFL, which the score can be minimum 80. Duolingo is 110, and the IELTS is 6.5. The GRE is only, it's waived for students that have a background in computer science and engineering. We waive all the other master's degree programs. So the GRE is waived except for the computer science and engineering if your degree is not in that field. We require 2 letters of recommendations, 1 professional reference, and 1 can be an academic reference, and a statement of purpose. And at any time you can throw questions and we can get to those at the end. So the master's degree requires a 46 units of courses. You're required to have a GPA of a 3.0, which is required to graduate. A thesis requirement may apply, and we always have the students to check with your program advisor. Now, for the PhD, admissions requirements are the same, $95 online application fee. But for any of those that are attending this session and would like to apply, we will waive this a one-time courtesy for those that took the time out to attend this session, which I really am grateful for that you are all here. We will waive that. And that will be taken care of for you. Again, the PhD admissions requirements require both a BS and an MS official transcripts. Again, the TOEFL's required, Duolingo or IELTS, either one of the 3. GRE is required, 2 letters of recommendation, 1 professional reference, and 1 for academic reference, or it can be 2 professional, and a statement of purpose. The PhD degree requirements are a total of 72 units beyond the master's degree. So 36 units of coursework and the other 36 units in dissertation. Again, the grade point average to graduate is a 3.0, and a dissertation is also required. The program structure is as follows here. We have some mornings courses that are offered at 7:10 in the morning till 9. And usually we call this the early bird. A lot of our professional students that are working during the day sometime take some classes early in the morning, and then they be able to go to work after. And then we start back up again in the evenings. We start at 5:10 p.m. to 7, and then our next section will be at 7:10 to 9. We are on a quarter system. So there's unit counts that we have for our courses. They're either 2 units or 4-unit courses. So we have 3 academic year quarters. So we have a fall that starts in September, winter starts in January, and spring normally starts at the end of March. In order as an F1 student, international student, you must be enrolled in a minimum of 8 units each quarter to maintain your status. Now, our course offerings, we have approximately 100 graduate level courses offered each quarter. We have 40 full-time faculty, and I do believe that number has gone up some, and 85 part-time faculty that come and teach our students from industry. So we have 1 to 15 faculty ratio, which means that, the student has that opportunity to work closely with the faculty member. And again, our tuition and fees, application fee is there. Again, we will waive that for you this time. Our tuition rate at this time for this academic year is $1,206 per unit. There is a student association fee of $190 that is assessed at each quarter, and a non-refundable deposit of $300, which is credited towards your tuition once you enroll. Our upcoming deadlines for the application for spring of 2025 is January 1. And for an I-20 deadline, if you're applying for a visa, is February 1st. And then fall of 2025, our application deadline will be June 1st of 2025. And the deadline for an I-20 is July 1st of 2025. Now, I just want to talk a little bit briefly about our on-campus job opportunities that I think is so important to know about. We have what we call teacher's assistants and research assistant position, possibly throughout the different programs. And we ask our students, after completing one quarter, your first quarter, you could then go to the department, speak to your faculty advisor, and see if there's any opportunities there to become a teacher's assistant or a research assistant. And there are also some on-campus jobs as well. And this is great because as an international student, you may work on campus in the library. I just named a few: student center, office support, the media center, the dining commons. So there's opportunities, to be a little bit busy, do some work on campus. This is also awesome that the university participate for our international students. We do have a CPT that you're eligible to take part in after completing one full year. That's 24 units with a B or better grade. You're eligible to work off campus, right? So you can find internships. You would work very, very closely with the Career Center. They work wonderful with our grad engineering students that are looking for internships. And after you graduate, we also have OPT. So I know it says after 1 year, you can work after you graduate, but I believe now it's up to 3 years you can work in the States full-time off campus. So while you're doing your internship, the CPT, and gaining that knowledge and experience, after you graduate, that internship can possibly turn into that full-time job that you've been looking for. And at that point, you would have to request a new I-20 once you're no longer a student. So that's it for that. And then this is our contact information, and you can also contact me directly. I am always happy to help. We have one-on-one sessions where you can sign up to do a one-on-one with our admission team. That's myself and Melanie Massey. She's the director of admissions, and we're on every day. There's morning sessions with myself and with her in the afternoon. So, take advantage of that, and we'll be very happy to answer questions that you may have one-on-one that we can help answer. And again, I want to thank you all, and if there's any questions, I'm so happy to answer those.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Stacy, for that. Well, Stacy, there is going to be a profile evaluation session with the students for next week. I have dropped the link, the Calendly link in the chat window. So for all those of you who are interested, can click on the link and sign up. There are a few questions which had come in. Dharmender, Stacy spoke at length about how SCU helps international students with regards to their career and job opportunities. So I hope that answers your question. For the rest of you, please keep posting your questions in the Q&A box, because right now we have a few alums here with us and we are going to jump straight into a panel discussion. Purnendra, if I could request you to switch on your camera as well, that would be super helpful. Thank you. So let's get started with Padma. So, Padma, could you tell us a little bit about your background, your academic and professional journey, and what was the thought process behind making this decision, that sort of helped you to be on the path that you are on now?
Yeah, sure. First of all, I would like to thank everyone for inviting me. It's obviously a privilege to contribute to, such an innovative and, meaningful discussion. And I'm super excited to share my experience and insights. While also I'm like super glad to learn from, Professor Lukoff and everyone. And it's a special thanks to Stacy for their efforts in organizing and all this. And a little bit about myself is I have my master's in computer science from Santa Clara University, where I focused on areas like distributed systems, AI, and machine learning. And before that, I worked as a software engineer with Accenture and SAP back in India. Currently, I work with Microsoft in the cloud supply chain team for Azure. And my decision to pick this has always been, exploring opportunities to let me
Mhm.
grow, learn, and make a very meaningful impact, which eventually led me, I think, to this current role at Microsoft.
Great, great. That's an interesting journey. So, just the fact that you were looking at growth, you were looking at opportunities elsewhere, and then that's how you sort of came down here.
That's
Okay.
true. That's
Uh,
true.
right. Nolita, coming to you, can you share a little bit about your background and professional journey and what sort of influenced you to take this decision to shape the path that you're on?
Yeah, sure. Hi everyone. I'm Nolita. So I graduated with a master's in computer science from Santa Clara University in June 2023. I graduated with a bachelor's in computer engineering from Father Conceição Rodrigues College of Engineering, which is affiliated to University of Mumbai in June 2021. I currently work as a software engineer too at Medtronic Diabetes based in LA, which is focused on test and automation of diabetes application. Before that, I already worked on some really exciting projects in Santa Clara University itself that really hooked me on solving like real world problems. My decision to jump into software development was based on curiosity and passion. I believe like the way to any career path would be based on curiosity and passion. And I was always passionate about how technology can make life better, and whether it can be like mobile applications like Facebook or systems to streamline processes. I've always been like lucky to work on projects where I can make a tangible difference. And I was very lucky to work at SU Frugal Innovation Hub, which is a part of Santa Clara University, and that really shaped my career as a first-time full-time role in the United States.
Great, great, Nalita. Thank you so much for sharing your experience as well. So, Panendra, I'm going to bring it back to you. In your opinion, what are the most essential qualities that an individual working in the tech industry should possess? And to just sort of build on to that, how did your experience at Santa Clara help you develop these qualities, which are very much required in the world?
Right, right. That's a very good question. Um, Apart from the regular stuff which most of us look into, like getting skilled in coding, system design, or computer fundamentals, I believe there are other pillars that are holding the profile of a student, getting him or her a job.
Right.
Some of them being, I'll just go one each over each of them. So one is a research mindset. This is something which I was not strong with prior to joining Santa Clara, and working at one of the labs, like Nolita mentioned, Frugal Innovation Hub, and courses here sometimes require you to have exposure or take a research approach on and do research in your coursework, which actually strengthen this skill for me. And this kind of approach helps you look at problems with curiosity and creativity, which is very essential in the tech industry, especially in Silicon Valley. I believe that because you're often taking roles of ownership and leadership when you're working in tech, especially in Silicon Valley, and having this research mindset that just helps you become take these initiatives and bring up innovation and lead effectively in such roles.
Thanks.
Also want to pick up on few other off topics which are helpful pillars as well. One is software ethics. This is something which I wasn't paying a lot of attention to prior to studying at Santa Clara. But when we are making decisions in tech companies, especially in how the trends are right now, with questions like how AI affects privacy and how it's impacting lives of people. I took courses in Santa Clara on software ethics and ethical decision making, which helped me prioritize and see clearly of all this information before making a decision. Even the smallest roles you take up, something as a software developer, you'll be making impactful decisions in the long run. Another skill that I picked up was project management, which is not just for managers. When you are a developer, you will be implementing best software project management practices every day. And to be effective and to be very resourceful in your company, I think project management is also a skill that you must have.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Banender. I hope everyone's taken notes in the audience because he did give us some very, very important and insightful insights here as to what one needs to know when they are looking at pursuing a degree or a program from a top ranking university abroad. Stacey, sort of bringing it back to you now. As a student, does one need to have prior work experience to have a competitive profile, like they say, for, to get success or to get an admit into Santa Clara? And how does Santa Clara help students who come in without any prior work experience? I know a few of them did speak about it, but if you could just shed a little bit of light over this.
Sure. Just so everyone knows that Santa Clara, you do not have to have prior work experience.
Okay.
I think our students here, knew their strength, knew their weaknesses, and even for any students, what we evaluate on every applicant holistically is their academic achievements, their recommendation letters, your personal statement, and other components of your application file. So rest assured, lack of professional experience does not hinder your ability to have a competitive application to be successful in the program. So that's definitely not a requirement to have prior experience. And as far as having no prior work experience, Santa Clara provides this practical learning opportunities, just to name one. I know our students talked briefly. And another thing that I really, really like is our connection to industry. Many of our industries do come to campus. I just think it's this small community feel that a lot of students experience. So I think faculty mentorship also is a big, large component of a student's success. So don't ever think that if you don't have your, work experience, that you wouldn't succeed or get in. Because right now, just a huge testimony, we do have a program for our current undergrad students are eligible to take grad classes. So that's a win-win, right? So, and a lot of them don't have work experience. They're in their undergrad program. So, yeah, we just have the support for our students.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Stacy. So for all those of you with no work experience, yes, you can still go ahead and apply and reach out to Stacy for more. Padma, sort of bringing it back to you, could you elaborate on how your role as a graduate teaching assistant at Santa Clara sort of helped you build the necessary skills to succeed, especially at your current role at Microsoft?
Yeah, sure. So I worked as a graduate teaching assistant for a subject called distributed system. That's the course at the Santa Clara University. And this was kind of exciting at first, and then it got into a really, it helped me really greatly when it comes to my work experience. It helped me build like several skills I know I now use daily in my work at Microsoft. As a TA, I was responsible for helping students grasp like complex distributed systems concepts, and then evaluating assignments and providing, constructive feedbacks and everything. This, honed my ability to break down all the technical challenges into simpler terms, which is invaluable when it compared, when collaborating with, cross-functional teams in Microsoft and everywhere. Additionally, mentoring students, it actually improved my interpersonal and relationship skills, because I learned how to adapt my communication style to suit different audiences, an essential skill in my current role right now, since I deal with a lot of cross functional teams in supply chain, as I work with different kinds of teams. So this TA role actually enforced my problem solving abilities, as students often approached me with unique challenges that required, different solutions. So yeah, this skill was like improved and instilled my confidence levels in tackling, ambiguous problems, a regular aspect when you're working with, companies like Microsoft or teams like, supply chain and everything. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Padma, for that insightful answer. And I'm sure answering all of those student questions have now prepared you not just to deal with
Of
your
course.
team at work, but to answer any kind of question
Of course.
from
Yeah. Of
students
course.
all
Yeah.
over the globe. Thank you.
Yeah. That's true.
Nolita, sort of toggling it back to you, uh, given that your first full-time role was in the US, I believe, on the completion of your master's. So your first full-time job was right after you completed your master's at SCU, and then you got into it. Did you find it challenging to adjust with? I'm sure some of your peers must have had prior work experience, and can you tell us a little bit more about how exactly did you overcome these challenges? Because a lot of students they get afraid about their first job and being in a different country, coming in from a different background. How did you sort of manage that?
So yeah, absolutely. It was a bit intimidating at first, but I saw like many of my peers have like prior work experience, and I was like fresher straight out of my master's program. Even for like my bachelor's, I had no prior experience. I graduated from bachelor's and I directly came for my master's program, and then again like I was a fresher again, like finding job after my master's. But I believe like I saw that as a way of learning and growing quickly, looking at my peers. So I leaned heavily on the practical skills that I got from like my courseworks at Santa Clara University. And I had like I built some hands-on projects in my coursework itself and outside my coursework as well, that helped me a lot to build my profile and my resume. And at the same time, I did some certifications on AWS, OCI, Meta, that helped me a lot to grab interview opportunities. At the same time, I believe it is really important to like ask a lot of questions if you are really stuck somewhere, because the more you are clear about a certain thing, the more it is better for you to go towards that certain path. So that helped me a lot again. And I also joined like workshops and kept myself open to learning about the workplace culture and how the companies here function. So that helped me as well. Honestly, like this mindset like helped me not just adjust, but also helped me bring like fresh ideas that were like literally appreciated like by my university and as well as currently where I'm working.
Thank you, Nolita. I'm sure having someone fresh come in in the team with a fresher experience really does help teams as well. Great. Uh, Fernando, coming to you, you have had previous work experience. So, how did you leverage the skills you sort of acquired or developed in your previous roles to position yourself as the right candidate for your current position? And do you feel there have been any differences in the working environment, not just between the two countries, but also with someone who had worked prior to getting his master's done and then doing it after? Like, what is the sort of difference that you see?
Right. In my case, the experience I gained working in India and working at research labs in Santa Clara had a huge impact in landing my current job. Especially in today's job market, where companies often seek for candidates with prior work experience, even for internships, it makes it a bit hard. Um, and every candidate, as soon as they start masters, they try to get some sort of experience, which is the right path. For my previous roles, I mean, this did not just help with my previous roles, but also just not to meet with the job descriptions, but to get a better understanding on the workplace expectations and the dynamics of working with cross-functioning teams across like in India, where you work with only one culture. You're over US, you're working with people from different background, from multiple cultures. So understanding these dynamics are very important, and I think this comes with an experience. For example, when assigned a task, I've learned to assess whether delivering quickly with acceptable quality, or should it be exceeding the quality with a longer timeline to meet my manager's expectations. This ability to read the room comes with experience. In the difference I see between the working in India and working in US is that in India the expectations are more on your face. Like you have a meeting with your manager and you get clear expectations thrown at you by your manager. But in US, it's these subtle cues, and that requires a lot of your independent judgment, where you have to make the decision to please your managers and your colleagues. But either way, working in US or in India, although the style and the approaches are different, the purpose and the core principles of contribution remain the same. That is to uh, please your managers or be an exceptional employee. I'm sorry. Yeah, gaining any kind of experience. Santa Clara, like Ms. Tinker mentioned, provides a lot of opportunities for students without experience as well, where you can volunteer and work in research labs or take up initiatives. There are clubs where you can collaborate with people from different background and pick up on these experiences, which I'm for sure will help any candidate go a long way in getting their dream job.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I know we are a little short of time, but I'm going to do my last round of question to each one of you. Stacey, I'll start with you. How crucial do you think it is for students to participate in extracurricular activities at Santa Clara in terms of helping them with their career progression and overall development?
Okay, I think extracurriculum activity is very important for all students.
Yes.
Okay. Just as you hear our alum and their experience overall is connecting with your fellow classmates. It's very, very important to take part in not only just the career center, the clubs that we have, there's the innovation hub. There's, I just think even the extracurriculum activity brings a balance into the classroom and a little fun. So it's very important to partake in extracurriculum as well as in the learning area.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Stacey. They need to balance it out. All work.
Balance.
Yeah, correct. Padma, my last question for you before I let you go is, since you've been a student, right, what extracurricular activities should students look at Santa Clara University to build on the necessary skills to thereby then succeeding in their careers? Because as you know, once you're done with your masters, everyone is thinking about the future, about jobs, about what next.
Yeah, so I would say, get involved in everything you can. Join tech clubs, attend hackathons, and, take on internships. These
Yes,
usually help you to develop your teamwork and leadership skills. Santa Clara actually offers so many opportunities, whether it's working as a TA or contributing to community projects or even leading events. I myself was volunteered as an International Student Association member for
hmm,
Indian Association, as well as I did some projects in SCU, like the Santa Clara University Frugal Innovation Hub. So these are some things that truly excites you when you're doing, masters, coming out of your country, learning new things, getting to know new people and everything. For me, I would say, don't forget networking at all. It's
yeah.
amazing how much, just talking to people can help you later on, because that's how you build connections, that's how you get to know a lot of people, that's how you gain a lot of experience from people. Instead of, you go through a lot, it's always better to get from people to before getting into something. So I would always prefer, to network with a lot of people through all these connections. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Padma. As they rightly say, your network is your net
Mm.
worth. So go out there and keep networking, everyone. Nolita, my last question for you is, what was the highlight of your time at Santa Clara University? Like something that really sort of stands out. And how did that sort of impact your perspective on, let's say, a professional or a personal front?
To be honest, one of the biggest highlight would be working at SU Frugal Innovation Hub. I cannot highlight how much it has helped me get my first full-time role, because as I mentioned, I came straight out from like freshers, like I was a fresher and I got my first
Correct.
full-time role. So SU Frugal Innovation Hub gave me a good idea of how a professional world can like function, especially in the United States. So I kept highlighting Frugal Innovation Hub, but let me give you a little gist of what it is. So it's a part of Santa Clara University School of Engineering, and it is dedicated to like leveraging technology and engineering expertise to create solutions for social good. So they have like many clients, right from like local clients to like international clients. Like I got to work for an international client in Uganda and Belgium, and that really stood out for me because I actually got, before I jumped into like my first full-time role, I got an idea on how to interact with like people, the people here. Because I believe like it can be really easy to like talk to Indians, but when it comes to like people outside your community,
Correct.
you have to be a little more careful when you talk. And I believe Frugal Innovation Hubs projects helped me a lot in that. So that was one of my biggest highlight. The second would be the Indian Student Association. So I and Padma, we both were a part of Indian Student Association. We were on the board
Wow.
of it. So
Mhm.
we had like the leadership roles, and we got to like organize events, conduct workshops. That really helped us build our leadership skills. And I believe volunteering or being even a small part of such events help you a lot to build and socialize as well as network, as Padma mentioned about it. So yeah, these two were a really big part of my journey at Santa Clara University.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Nolita. Banendru, my last question for you is, can you tell us a little bit about the career services, that Santa Clara University has to offer and how that sort of helped you as a student?
Right. Santa Clara has very good career services. They realize that many students in the master's program, they are international students, and they know how important it is to help students from international background to get this kind of help, because I'm gonna speak just for myself, that I was culturally very narrow. I would barely get to work with anyone apart from fellow Indians, and in my previous experience, I used to work a little bit with counterparts overseas, but I was lacking on how to network with people, like Padma said, and how to understanding the cultural divide we have. So you get all this kind of exposure with Santa Clara's Cultural Center, Career Center. They help you with your resumes. They help you make your profile stronger, not just with your resume, but they help you with LinkedIn and Bronco. I'm blanking on the name, but
Bronco Exchange.
Bronco Exchange. Thank you, Ms. Tinker. So a lot of alums, they become part of Bronco Exchange, where fellow Broncos, they want to help the fellow Broncos. So Bronco Exchange is like LinkedIn, but for Broncos only. So you can quickly seek out for alums who are ready to mentor you, and they get on a call with you and they explain you what we are lacking, and how you can make your profile stronger and more appealing to employers. So there is always a very supportive system at Santa Clara University, and I think that is very important, especially if you get lost. They can put you right back on track and help you get your dream job.
Thank you. Thank you, Panil. Thank you, all of you, for sharing your wonderful insights and experiences during your time at Santa Clara. It is so good to see all the alums who are out there now, putting your name out there and taking this ahead. So thank you so much for your time and for joining us today. It was really helpful to get your insights, and I'm sure a lot of people in the audience will reach out to you at some point or the other. Stacey, we have quite a few questions. I know we've overshot time, but we can take a few very quickly if that's okay with you.
That's fine. I'm available.
Okay, great. So the first question, of course, revolves around scholarships. What are your typical deadlines for your scholarship applications, and what are the supporting documents that you would require?
Currently, we haven't set up the newest scholarship for the upcoming academic year. So we always push students towards the TA and RA positions.
Okay.
I think our school is really good at helping students land something while they're there.
Okay, great. Well, Santa Clara University School of Engineering does have a scholarship with Seed Global Education, which is available to the attendees of today's session. 3 awards covering up to 39,000 of your tuition fee. The application for the second round closes in the next 9 days. So what I'm going to do is I am going to quickly drop the link in the chat window for everyone. If you wish to apply for the scholarship, you can click on the link, and Santa Clara's School of Engineering will be happy to award you with a scholarship in case if you are shortlisted. Dharmender, we hope that answers your question. A very unique question by Yogesh, who wants to know, is there a scope for a student to take classes or general electives from other schools of, from the University of San Francisco?
All of our programs are designed for that particular department. So if a student is admitted into like electrical and computer engineering, their scope is only in that school, that department. So there's not any wiggle room to take courses somewhere else, bring it back. Everything must maintain within the School of Engineering.
Great. So they will have to continue with their degree here.
Yes.
Next question is from Yuktishri, and she wants to know, how does the university help students adjust to the academic and cultural environment in the US? You know, a lot of students back home in India, this would be, let's say, their first time stepping abroad, and to come there and, you know, sort of restart their life from scratch. So how does the university sort of help with that?
The university does a great job. I think we have some students here that knows better.
Yes.
While we have different, we have one club in particular, Swatis, that come together
yes.
and do events. So we do a lot of student engagement as much as possible, but there's so many other resources and fellow students from your region that are at the university.
Great. Thank you. Thank you so much. And of course, all of the students present on the panel today did speak a lot about it. You can reach out to them. I believe someone has already posted the group. Okay, so I'm going to quickly share the Instagram link, which Nolita had shared for the Indian Student Association at SCU. You can follow them on Instagram and get some more insights. As I mentioned previously, you do also have a chance to get your profile evaluated and have a one-to-one with Stacy in the coming week. Here is the link for that. With that, I know we've overshot our time, but I would like to thank Stacy, and I would like to thank Padma, Nolita, Padmendru, and all of you wonderful people who joined in for the session today. I hope you had a lot of insights, a lot of food for thought, things to think about. And of course, if you have any questions or queries, please feel free to reach out to us. With that, thank you. Thank you so much, all of you, and have a great day. Bye.
Thank you.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.